there, everybody. So I don't normally get to do these, so I figured I would where I'm here. I'm on vacation for my desk job this week, and it's for the best because we had wood Chipmageddon here at the farm, and we got about 10 truckloads in the last 3 or 4 days. So Eric's going to take you on a little walk and show you what we did with all of it.
Okay, so first things first, we're up in front of the house. You can see we've got a few smaller piles scattered along some of these front beds. You can see the older iteration of chips over here, and these beds will be getting refreshed with what remains over there. I think we're probably down to like 20 to 30 yards out of the 200 or so we've gotten in the past week. So this is what life has been. We've extended the mound in front of the house. This helps us keep our basement a little dry. And in the long term, I'd kind of like another pond up here, highest in the landscape on our property, and having some kind of berm and catchment system in advance would be amazing. So here is the fruits of a lot of Nicole's afternoon right here. Bam. That'll take me a while to move through. But so that pile there will be pulsed out to these beds, which have some fresh chip on them. You can see the difference in color between this year's chip and last year's chip. And in order to get last year's chip breaking down as efficiently as possible, we are going to have to put more chip on top, along with probably some compost from the chickens, where another bit of this will go. But so we have another pile of chip here. And what we've done is chipped in this walkway. You may remember seeing it exposed bare dirt. We've chipped the stairs and given an additional layer of mulch to the side beds on the sides of the stairs. And we've gone and chipped in here as well. So these sets of paths are ready to go. We've come down to this baseline of stairs. And if I take a peek up at the laneway, you can see just how different it all is. We've also started moving it back a bit towards the pond. I am going to leave this bit last, but let me quickly take a little peek over here. I started sketching out the walkways in here, and this is where the real garden design is going to really start moving quickly. These paths will outline what growing spaces exist, and we're going to start integrating more and more compost and soil and plant life into these islands in between, where you can see some of the fresh chip placed down. And like I said, this is really just rough sketch at the moment, but I like where things are going. The point is having lots of little intersections that you can poke through and move to. But I'll show you why we're holding off by the pond real quick, and then we'll get back to showing you where all of these wood chips have gone. And this kind of flush of materials, it got me thinking about definitions of resilience and strength, and I am, as I get older and older, and arguably wiser, I think to myself that flexibility is the real strength when I'm taking on these products and projects. I sure I can plow my way through. I can brute force a lot of things, but being flexible, being able to understand where my body is at and what kinds of pulses I might need to deal with, um, makes me feel less like I need to just plow through at the sake or at the expense of my body and well-being, and instead I can kind of ebb and flow with what's coming in. But what's coming in look like a lot of tiny little lemon bombs and other things. There's a chance that there's mint in here, but I really sincerely doubt it. I don't spread mint seed, even if I do occasionally, accidentally or intentionally put it in the ground in other places. Um, but a lot of these are starting to look very much like a lemon balm or other things, and I'm pretty sure that's one of the seeds I scattered back here. You can see another little colony up on the hugel mound starting to take shape. And so we'll actually be adding chips to some of this just to help the lower levels break down. And that'll be a good place for us to bank additional fertility when we come in here with more compost from the chicken yard. And the chicken yard will probably get at least 10 of those yards as a bulk material and the ground layer for their run. So far so good with the duck integration with the chickens. We'll talk about this soon, I promise. But so, coming up into the woods, I think there's going to be a significant difference in what it all looks like. And so you can really start to see some of the avenues of ingress and egress and some of the trails that we've been starting to lay in here. And I'm really feeling like this is going gangbusters, even if my body is just saying, dang, busted. And so, in our movements back and forth, bringing chips down to this level, and we did set up a dozen yards at the foyer at the base of the stairs. It's compacted this. One of the things that we did, and I just want to make a quick note of this, is trying to get all of this level. Trash, junk, it's not going to work. I don't have the patience or the free time in between truckloads of this material that I asked for and have punished myself with. But so what the goal was to get a little bit and rake it flattish and then drive the tractor down and dump another bit. And if the tractor felt tilty on one side or the other, we would just point, and whoever was on the rake would scrape the middle bit that doesn't get compacted down into whichever side that the tractor was having issues with. And so we just kind of wee-wad, and by feel and by sight and by slow, easy iterations, safety being foremost in mind, got everything situated. And there's the star supervisor of the show right there. And so here's another 3-5 yards or so. And this will be going back along this space here and to build out some of the trails that are leading back into there. And so I am so fortunate, so happy, so grateful that our neighbor with the tree service is willing to dump for us when his customers don't want the chips, or when another group that does want them is more out of the way than we are. I'll really quickly just note that this is the Michello repens, that we've been selecting cuttings from, and these guys will completely withstand the amount of force that this tractor is generating, even with 50 trips up and down this hill, which this is the first year it's been able to make it up and down this hill. So I'm very, very happy. And then we've just been dumping little bits and little bits of small chip piles as the tractor was going off in the distance that way. I would be bringing wheelbarrows down this way for regrading the bits of the roadway for the tractor that have had challenges. And so for the rest of this week, there's going to be a lot of flattening and finalization, but I encourage you guys to be flexible in your thinking and your materials acquisitions. Don't be afraid to ask for things. This was the equivalent of thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of mulch and wood chip, and all it took is a little bit of attention on my part to take out the handful of pieces of plastic and trash, and then the sweat equity to move them all. And so that's where we're at. I'm gonna go die.
Me too. Well, thanks for watching. Happy planting.